Hey folks, my video today is on how to grow difficult Eriocaulon species. The two species I will be using in this video are the red Eriocaulon as well as Trithuria lanterna, which some folks call Eriocaulon blood vomit. Blood vomit isn't really an Eriocaulon, it is a Trithuria species. However, their growth requirements are similar. The concepts in this video can be applied to other picky species of Eriocaulon as well. This is the full name of the red Eriocaulon. It comes from India, and in some circles they also sell it under the trade name Crimson King. Its maximum leaf size is about 2 inches plus, and with roots about the same length. Trithuria lanterna has been in the hobby a long time. Its common trade name is Eriocaulon blood vomit, but it is not actually an Eriocaulon. The great thing about this plant is its small size. Its maximum leaf size is about an inch, even though its roots can grow longer, and it doesn't spread as a ground cover. You have to manually propagate it. This is the summary of key success factors. These are not difficult plants to grow if you can meet the above conditions. The main challenge for many tanks is getting enough light and carbon dioxide to the substrate level of the tank. These plants are short and difficult. You need to deliver both CO2 and light to the substrate zone. These plants also do well with root fertilization, so aqua soils work very well. Most aqua soils also soften the water, and these picky species do prefer soft water. Your KH should be below 3. I would say that above 5 degrees KH or so, it gets very difficult to grow this species. The red Eriocaulon also does not transport well at all, so finding a source that can deliver samples to you within a couple of days is important for success. This is the farm tank where I grow both species. Both my filter inflow and outflow is on the right side of the tank. The filter outflow hits the left wall of the tank, and this creates a downwash. The downwash flows from the bottom left of the tank to the bottom right of the tank. And because I use an inline diffuser, this is the path that the CO2 mist takes as well. These are short plants that are easily shaded. Best to grow them in open areas with some distance apart from taller stem plants. For blood vomit, it can even be overgrown by more aggressive carpets such as HC and Glosso. So in my tank, I just grow them together with some slow-growing Marsillia species. I'm using T5 units for this tank. However, it doesn't matter if you use T5 or LED as long as enough light gets onto the substrate. I think that about 70 U-moles of PAR is adequate for growing these plants, but if you have 100 plus U-moles of PAR, they grow faster. Next, I'll show you how to propagate these plants. Unlike other carpeting plants that spread or have runners, these plants do not spread by themselves. However, as the plant grows larger, it will develop many side shoots, and the differentiated growth heads can be clearly seen when you look closely. So once the plant reaches a certain size, you can take it out and separate the different growth buds from the main plant. In this example, you can see a clear differentiation between the different buds. I think that when you can clearly see the different buds, then the plant is ready for splitting. Quite often you can see the clear separation when the plant is in the tank. What I do is I pull away the buds gently using my fingers. I find that using a blade is not necessary for the red Eriocaulon as it's quite easy to separate them at this stage. The red Eriocaulon is quite delicate, however, so be careful about squishing the plants too hard because you can permanently damage it. This is also a good time to show you what a healthy example looks like. The leaves should be erect and firm. They shouldn't be soft or floppy. When buying red Eriocaulons at the shop, this is what you want to look for. For blood vomit, it is similar. You will see differentiated growth buds develop over time. Here I shake it quite vigorously to dislodge it from the soil to prevent pulling up large amounts of topsoil, because that is what I use below my aqua soil in this tank. The separation between the different buds is not so clear in blood vomit. If you are new to this, I recommend using a pen knife to do a clean cut instead. If you are not careful, you can damage the plant quite easily. If you are new to this and worried about getting them to grow, don't separate them into two small bunches. Larger bunches are more resilient and grow better. After I split the buds, I'll roll an osmocote ball in the root zone of each sample before planting them into the substrate. This creates a zone of root fertilization for the plant. These plants float quite easily, so having pinceps or nice tweezers, as well as leaving slightly longer roots on the plant, makes it easier to plant it. Both the red Eriocaulon and blood vomit make good foreground plants. They have nice colors and they are quite easy to manage because you don't have to keep trimming them, unlike traditional carpets. And they actually grow quite fast as well. If you give adequate fertilization and carbon dioxide as well as light, they double roughly every 5 weeks or so, every 5 to 6 weeks. These two species tend to take a while to settle in after being freshly transplanted. Growth speed tend to accelerate only after the root zone has become more established. With that, I hope that you guys enjoyed this presentation, and I hope that you guys have a chance to grow these two awesome species. There is also more information on my website if you want to read about these two species instead of listening to a video. Thanks for watching, guys.